welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to be here today for a sit and talk video. It's been the first time since the beginning of my trip that I'm doing like a sit and talk video and not a vlog, so I'm really happy about it. I'm here in Ubud, Bali for now. I'm just staying for a few days in a private room, which is why I am able to film a sit and talk video, because I've been in dorms and hostel for the past month and a half, so I couldn't really like just sit down and put my camera on because there were always people around me. I've asked you on YouTube and on Instagram if you had any question, and today we're going to do a Q&A video. I am really happy about it because I've done one previous Q&A video in French but never in English, and I figured that you guys might have some question to ask me since I left in Asia and everything. Because there is a lot of questions that are quite similar, I'm just gonna answer to one general question about the topic and then try to give you an answer about all your specific question as well. So if you don't see your question specifically, don't worry, I'm just gonna answer it during my explanation of more general questions. Also, if you guys send me a question in French, I'm just translating it to English and answer it in English, obviously, because this channel is in English. So I don't mind if you send me a question in French, but just so you know, it's going to be in English anyway, the explanation. So I'm sorry guys if you don't understand. If you like me to give you another answer in French, maybe because you don't understand, you can DM me on Instagram, it's fine, I will answer you, don't worry. So let's begin, because I have so many questions. So the first question is, now that you've traveled for such a long time, how do you feel mentally? How do I feel mentally? It's really hard to explain it, because to be honest, I feel better and worse at the same time, which is really confusing. How to explain that? So before leaving, I was suffering from depression and anxiety. So if you experienced that before, if you know a little bit about depression and anxiety, it is a really bad combo, because depression it's just like you don't feel excited about anything in life, you just want to lay in bed all day because like you don't feel joy at all, like you're just like empty all the time. And what would be nice for depression is just to do new stuff, to just get out of your comfort zone and do like things that will bring you excitement again. But the thing is, there is also anxiety. Anxiety is the fear of doing new things and the fear of getting out of your comfort zone and this constant stress about life in general. So like when you have this combo, you're stuck in your bed, you want to get out and do stuff, do new stuff, and just like try to enjoy life, but then anxiety creeps in and you don't feel like you can do new stuff because you're scared of everything. So now that I left and I'm traveling, I don't feel depression at all anymore. Like really, I'm so happy about it. Like I've stopped my treatment before leaving, and now I just don't feel this emptiness I was feeling before. So that's a really good thing. But anxiety, on the other hand, is way worse than before. I've already felt that much anxiety in my life, but never in such a long period of time. I mean, it's not the whole day, obviously, but I have some moments every day where the anxiety is really bad, and I'm just trying to regulate my nervous system again. I just think that it's because I'm doing all the uncomfortable and like stressing things I couldn't do before. Like I've seen everything that scared me and I was like, let's go there and just face the fears. So obviously, because I'm facing my fears, anxiety comes out a lot. So I'd say I'm 100% happy to be here. Like I'm not regretting at all. I don't want to come back home at all for now, but there's just this anxiety who's just following me, and that's a bit annoying. But it's getting better. I mean, compared to last month, it's way better. So I think it will just disappear at one point. Okay, so next question. What advice would you give to people who try to find their path, their purpose, and be like in harmony with themselves? Wow, that's such a hard question. Like, I don't have like the answer to life basically, because I feel like might be like the purpose of everyone to just find their own path in this world, and to be like aligned with themselves. Let me think about it. What would I recommend? I'd say, from my experience, I've realized that it's not a quest. Like, it is a quest, but I mean, it's not something that it's impossible to find. Like, you have to search for it. Like, what is your purpose? What you want to do? How to be like aligned with yourself? Who you really are and everything. The thing is, you already know that. I mean, for me, it was that deep down, I knew what my purpose was. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew who I was. I just, first of all, I wasn't listening to myself. And second of all, I was afraid of what society and people will perceive of me. And that's why I couldn't just be myself or just follow my own path. Because I was so focused on what people will just think of me that I was just completely ignoring my mind and body signals. Like, if you're just trying to cut off all the external like messages and like people putting pressure on you and everything, and just focusing on yourself and ask yourself, what do I really want to do in life? Who I really want to be? Or just who I really am, like what I like to do, what I want to do in my life, I think you might have the answer. It's just that there is so many other informations coming in, mostly like just to pressure you to be shaped around like society's expectations, that you just forget or you deny your true self. Learn to listen to yourself, to your intuition, because you know what you want, you know who you are. Just listen to it. That's my advice. Wow, that's some deep talk. Like, I love this community, like my subscribers, for that, because we're all here and we love deep conversations. I mean, like, you could have just asked me like some random question, but you asked me like how I can find my true path or purpose, and that's amazing. What would you recommend for what advice can you give to someone who wants to organize a big trip like you're doing? I mean, I was so focused on just organizing the itinerary and like which places I wanted to go to and everything. I think I've made this mistake of losing a lot of time just trying to plan everything, which was not helpful at all, because the moment you just get into the country, everyone around you, like people in hostels or locals and everyone, will tell you what you should do in the country or what you should do in the city you're in. So you don't really need to just plan it for hours and hours. That was my mistake. I'm more flexible now. The biggest advice I could give you is just to be focused on, I think, the budget. First of all, like what type of trip you want to do and how do you think it would cost, and then like save money according to that. That's the biggest thing. Like, if you want to stay in a hostel and volunteering, for example, it's going to be way cheaper than if you prefer to stay in private rooms of a hotel. And if you want to eat in restaurants every day, or just like eat local, or just cook your own food, it's going to be way different also for the budget. So I mean, just focus on that, like what you really want to do, like which kind of trip you wanna do. And also packing my bag. I'm so happy. I think I really packed my bag well. The only thing is I have too many things, I guess. I mean, I have 2 bags for 7 months, which is nothing, but still I think I could have done maybe a little less stuff. So yeah, just take the strict minimum. Like everything you're taking, it's like something that you will carry for a month, and so if you don't use it, it would just be like a burden for you. Like you would just want to get rid of it. That's my problem, for example, right now for books, because I don't have that much time to read. I'm just doing so much thing that I'm not reading a lot, and I have too many books, and it's like annoying me, and I don't know where to put them, and it's heavy and it takes space and everything. Next question. Do you know now what you desire for your future? I suppose in the position of before leaving. Do I have gained clarity on what I want for my future? Again, yes and no. I would say, like, yes, I have some questions that have been answered, and I think that I am now more aligned with what I want to be and what I want for my future. So in that sense, I know, yeah, a little more what I want. But also, I've been talking to so many people and I've learned so many different stories, and I've realized I have so many options that I'm just kind of confused also on some things, and I'm like, I can do that, but also that, and also that, and like everything seems so amazing and I want to do it all, but I can't. So there's a part of me who's like, I desire to explore. I don't know what, I don't know when, I just know that I want to do a lot of different stuff. So yes, I know that I don't want to live in France. I mean, I don't want to move back in France and like stay in France for sure, at least for the next few years. That's something I kind of knew before going abroad, but now that I am here, I can tell you for sure that I won't go back and taking an apartment again in 6 months. I will do all I can to go back abroad, and I have so many options. That's the thing, like, I want to go abroad, I don't know where, I don't know how, I don't know, like, for how long. It's just, I know that I don't want to go back to France. So, more questions, but also some answers, let's say. How is my training going on? Like, my coaching training, yeah. So, it hasn't started yet, like, we're like the end of December when I'm filming this video. I don't know when it will be posted, but the beginning of my training is like mid-January, so I haven't started yet. I have some homework though, like some journaling to do and some reflection on myself to do, because like the first month of my training will be focused on inner work, and then like the other month will be focused on me training to be a coach. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I can't wait for it to start, but I haven't started it yet. But I'm really happy. Like, right now I'm just traveling, which is great, but I need to be working on some bigger project for myself. I need that. I think that the training will be a big plus for me, like to have something in mind, like to be building something professionally alongside of just traveling. Because like when you're just traveling, I mean, it's great, but you don't have like any purpose behind it, like just exploring, discovering. Like, it's nice, but I need to have like a sense of purpose and going somewhere more long term, you know. Okay, so did I like every part of my trip, and is there places that I didn't like? Yes, of course. Like, I'm not difficult, so I mean, there's no place I've been to where I was like, oh no, I really don't like this place. But I have some preference. Obviously, there's some places I did prefer over others. I mean, it's really hard also to tell you, because it's not just the place you're in, it's also like the people you're meeting at this place. It's also your current mood during the moment you're visiting the place. Like, for example, when I was in Kuala Lumpur, the first few days I'd say like the two first day I was kind of like down. I My first impression of the city was pretty bad. I was like, I don't really like this place. It's just too much crowdy and like, I don't know, like I didn't like the vibe of the city. But then I met a really nice group of people and we started to do stuff together, and then I went to really nice places in the city, and I started to enjoy because I was with nice people and also like in nice places. So then I started to realize like that I kind of like the place. So yeah, it really depends, because sometimes you can be in a beautiful location but be by yourself or just being exhausted, so you just don't really appreciate the moment. But I'd say yeah, I like every part of the trip. It's just different vibe. Like for example, when I was in Uluwatu, it was just going to the beach, but when I was in, I don't know, Ubud, where I am right now, it's just countryside and like more traditional culture and everything. And when you're in Singapore, it's obviously like the biggest city ever, super clean, super modern, completely different. So it's just, I'd say, different. So what is the hardest part of my trip? I don't know. I think the hardest part is that you're moving, like I'm moving a lot. I stay maximum 1 week per place. And when you're traveling in hostels, most people are doing the same. They stay like 3-4 days, 5 days, maybe a week maximum in the same place as you. So this constantly moving is like really unsettling, mostly to build connection with people. So like when I arrive in one place, I will make a friend pretty fast, but the thing is, it will be like for 2 days, 3 days maximum, because then either I leave or they leave. So you're doing a lot of like small talks with people, asking about where they come from, what they do for a job, how long are they staying here, how long are they traveling for, and everything. And then the moment where you get comfortable enough to have like some deep conversation or to be like closer with someone and be really comfortable with them is the moment that you leave or they leave. So that's the hardest part for me, is that because I'm solo traveling, every 2-3 days I have to find new people, make new friends, like go out there and find new connections, just to not be alone. And because also it's interesting, like of course, like I'm so happy to have this chance of meeting so many different people. It's really a chance, but at the same time it's exhausting, especially because I'm an introvert. Like, I mean, I'm extroverted and introverted, but like I'm not comfortable socially. Like I have social anxiety, so going out and just going to random people and start a conversation and do that every 3 days, it's really, really, really tiring for me. But also it's a really good exercise. Like I feel like I'm way more confident socially right now than I was before, because I'm like, I can go wherever I want and I will be able to find people to go to do stuff with me and have a nice conversation every day if I want to. I mean, if you're like really extroverted and you're really sociable, maybe it's not the hardest part for you, but for me it is. It really is. What are my travel essentials? Let me think about it. I have few, like, I don't need a lot of stuff. I realized it. I bring like 2 bags. I think I could easily do just 1 bag. My essential, my phone. It seems obvious, but without my phone, I would be screwed. I have my maps, I have like my reservations, I have like my taxi app, and like I could do an entire video just to show you all my travel apps. I need my phone like 100%. I'd say like a raincoat or an umbrella, because I'm in tropical places where it's raining every day, so that's really a big thing. A water bottle that you can refill. It's really like basic stuff, but oh yeah, and also like you need like some things to like some clothes to cover your shoulders like this, because first of all, the sun is really harsh, so you're burning, but like if you have my skin, you're burning obviously. Also, covering your skin always for mosquitoes is a great thing. And finally, because you're going into religious places like temples or mosque, and you need to have your shoulder covered. So okay, so what did I prefer, like what is my favorite place, and also there's a question like what's my favorite visit, so I'm gonna answer that as well. So my favorite place is Ubud. That's why I came back here, because I really love Ubud. And my favorite visit was here in Ubud. I've done a one day, like full day trip. You've seen it in my vlog, it's often in my Ubud vlog, but I've done a whole day trip around the center east of Bali, and it was amazing. I loved it. That's my favorite visit so far. Do I feel more spiritual now that I left? Like, do I feel like I evolved spiritually since I left? It depends on what you mean by spiritually, because a lot of people believe that spiritual, like being spiritual, is like kind of the cliche, like just doing yoga and like tarot card reading and crystals and sage and everything. That's, of course, that's some spiritual practices, but being spiritual is way more than just doing this practice. So if you mean like, am I just more practicing spirituality in that way? No, I think I'm doing less spiritual things now than before. Yeah, now than before. I think it's more of a mindset. Like, I'm doing a lot of spiritual activity, like I'm going to meditation center, I've done some yoga class, but the habits I had at home with crystal tarot reading, full moon ritual and everything, I'm not doing that as much as before. It's more like mentally. I felt like in France I had this whole spiritual awakening where I just started to realize and be aware of how unaligned I was with my true self, and how I needed to change some stuff. So I had this big awakening, but now I feel like I'm just putting action, like not just reflecting, but just doing the thing I have to do, like realigning myself. So I feel more spiritual in that way. And I mean, I'm meeting a lot of people who are spiritual as well, because it's the place, like Bali is the place. And I've also been able to practice it in centers, like spiritual centers and yoga class and everything. So yeah, I'd say maybe I need some more time to tell you that. It's too short, like 1 month, and I have to tell you if I've really evolved spiritually. Okay, so this one is pretty long, I have to translate. So this person say that she wants to go for a year in Erasmus, but she's afraid that she will regret it because she has like great friends in university and she felt really good in her life right now. So she asking me, do you regret having left your old life and your close one to travel? Do I regret leaving? No, not at all. It's the best decision I've made so far in my life. So one of the best, let's say. So no, I don't regret it at all. I don't miss my old life at all. And of course I miss my close ones, but I'm still in touch with them every day, so it's not like I've just abandoned them or anything. But just so you know, I hated my life like home. Like, I was miserable in France, and that's why I don't regret it, because I didn't like my life in France. Your situation seemed different because you said that you like your life. What I'm also saying is that you're saying that you are afraid of regretting leaving your hometown of France to go. The only question I would say to you is that in like 10 years, do you feel like you will regret staying in France, or do you feel like you will regret going in Erasmus and leaving France for a year? I mean, your friends, if they are good friends, they will be there next year when you come back. And your life at university, if it's really what you love, it will be also here when you will be back. It's not like you're leaving for ages, it's just a year. So you're doing a full year abroad and then you come back and you continue your routine as a university student in France, you know? What I would tend to tell you, but I mean it's really personal of course, but is that maybe you will not have this opportunity again to go abroad for a year. But staying in France with your friend and having this life at university, you will have it for sure for at least like a few years again. I tend to take risk when it comes to one life opportunity. Like, I think you're afraid that you would regret it, but what if going abroad would be like the best year of your life? And when you came back, you will also like enjoy your life because you already love it. I don't know, I'm letting you with those questions and everything, but I think going abroad, from my own experience, but also from the experience I heard from a lot of people around me who went a year abroad, has almost always been a really good decision. Yeah. Okay, so and last question. So just before I'm answering this question, I would like to thank you, all of you who asked those questions. It's really interesting. I'm really happy I had to even reflect myself on those questions. So yeah, thank you all of you for participating in the Q&A. So last question. Do you have a plan on how to continue your healing after you return back home? Do I have a plan? So first of all, what I told you is that I think I will not fully return back home. I think I would just, like, I'm going back home in June for sure because I need to go back home for several reasons. But I think I will not stay a long time in France. So first of all, I don't feel like I will return back home, but I mean, it's true that I've been challenging myself a lot going abroad, and I've been healing like the hard way, by being in such uncomfortable situation every week. So yeah, but I mean, I've done a lot of healing before leaving, and I think that's what led me to travel, because I did such intense inner work for the past 3 years. So I don't have like a plan, but I mean, if I have to stay in France, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to continue healing. But I think I will do that in a way, like in a different way. I think I would challenge myself way more than I was doing before. Because I mean, I'm doing like such scary stuff every day since I left. And when I look back on my daily life in France 2 months ago, I was doing nothing that challenged me. I was just like sitting around, staying in my apartment most of the time. Of course, I was reflecting a lot, but I could have done things instead of just thinking about them. And so yeah, I think that if I return back home, I would try to heal by just getting out of my comfort zone a lot more than I used to do. I was kind of focused on like, you need to go abroad to get out of your comfort zone, which is true, of course, but I could have done also really unsettling things and challenging things when I was in France. Yeah, maybe that would be the plan. I will try to do like a lot of different stuff and meet new people and like move to another city. Also, I've been thinking about that. So yeah, that's what I can tell you. But I mean, I'm not planning on returning back home soon, so the healing will just continue abroad, I think. So guys, thank you a lot again for like asking me questions, and also I would like to thank you for your enthusiasm. It's really hard to tell like your around my post and everything. I am really grateful for that. If you have any question, feel free to ask them in the comments, ask me on DMs or anywhere you can reach me, because I like to answer your question even if it's not in the Q&A videos. Feel free to like reach out to me. I love to have conversation with you. Also, as always, if you like my content and you want to support me, like you can just comment, interact with the video or the post, or just share it. It will mean a lot to me, so if you would like to do that, thank you. And I will see you next week for another video.